Welcome to the Built for Trades podcast. This is your host, Dan Dowding. Today, we are diving back into our vision tool talk. Previous episode, I dove into vision, mission, core values. But the reason why it's important to build the vision tools for your business is it gives direction, it gives purpose, it helps retain and also attract top talent to your business, which is one of the biggest needs we have here in the trades right now, is attracting and retaining top talented people. Today, we're diving into everything vision map, also known as a organizational chart for your business. If you do not have one and you do not have it posted on the wall, this is your episode. I'm going to tell you why it's important, what is in it for you, and talk to you about more about how to build this for your business. Before we dive in, I wanted to encourage you, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our podcast and share this with somebody else in the trades that you know would benefit from hearing this information. We want to grow our audience organically, and another great way to do that besides subscribing and sharing is to leave us a review. We look at every review and it helps to improve our episodes moving forward. Here at Built for the Trades, we are real people out there working every day to do the right thing, to serve our clients, just like you are if you're listening to this podcast. We believe a good name is better than great riches. And so we're working to accomplish both, but it's all about the integrity. It's all about the serving. It's all about leading people towards not only your vision and your business, but also towards their vision, to help them become a better version of themselves. So let's dive right in. The organizational chart, you probably heard that term before, but it's really a flow chart that shows not only chain of command in your business, but also who's responsible for what. So today I'm going to take out the organizational chart name. I'm going to update that. We're going to call it our vision map, because ultimately today I'm going to help you build a vision map that is looking out 3 years in your business. So the first thing I want you to do is open up your mind and realize that this is important. If you do not have this, you are really lacking in helping to attract and retain your top talented team members. Best thing you can do right now is get out a blank sheet of paper, grab a pen, and follow along as we dive into this. So why is this important? I've already talked about attracting and retaining people, but the other thing is when you're developing leaders in your business and you're scaling your business, one of the biggest pain points we have is communication. All right. So when I say communication, it could be 100 different things, but today let's talk about chain of command. Here's an example of it. I'm growing my trades business, right? I hired my first service manager. Okay, I'm the owner of the building of the company, probably also serving as a general manager. I hire my first service manager, and I say, I'm calling Bob. Bob, I want you to be the best service manager you can be. I want you to lead my technicians. I want you to communicate with them and train them. I want you to communicate with our customers. I want you to help grow our revenue and grow our technicians, right? Very common in the trade. The very next thing we do is, as soon as we realize that Bob may not be doing something that we like, a lot of times we go around Bob and make decisions and tell the technicians to do different things without consulting with Bob. So we're undermining his leadership because we don't have a clear picture of chain of command. The way that should work is we should go to Bob first. We should talk with Bob and give him an opportunity to improve whatever the situation is, right? So that is very detrimental in your business if you're doing that now. Another example with Bob, the same service technician, is we are having technicians maybe ask Bob, the new service manager, about something. He gives them a response that maybe they don't like. So what do? They pick up the phone, they call you, the owner, they ask you the same question to try to get you to give them the answer that they want. Let's just say, for instance, you give them a better answer. They decide to go with that, right? And you don't consult with Bob, your service manager. Next thing you know, Bob's frustrated. He's no longer bought into leading the guys because you just keep undermining his leadership. I use Bob, the service manager, as an example. This could be any department in your business, but having this 3-year vision map helps you to point to the wall and helps you to say, this is my department. This is the chain of command. This is how we should communicate. So that's one of the benefits of why you should build this, right? The next thing is, as you're growing your company, we're going to build this for 3 years out. You're making calculated decisions on your next hire. When people are growing their business, a lot of times they make positions for the person. An example, let's just go back to the Bob situation. Bob's our service manager. He's not doing really the best job. So we decide, you know what? Bob may not be fit for the service manager role. So we're going to make a new role for Bob. And we're going to call him our training manager because he's pretty good at training, right? So now we make a new role for Bob called the training manager. And let's just fast forward 6 months to a year. Maybe Bob doesn't work out in the training manager. So we get rid of Bob, right? The training manager position never existed in your company in the next 3 years. You made a position for Bob because you like Bob. You wanted him to stay here. Once Bob leaves, that position goes away. Now, if we do the same scenario with a vision map, a 3-year vision map, we look at the vision map and we say, do we have a spot for Bob? He's good at training, but we, next 3 years in our business, we don't have a training only position. So if the answer is no, then you know that you need to part way with Bob before that and find you a good service manager that can fill that role, that can do the training like you hired Bob to do originally. So it just saved you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headaches as you grow your business. The next thing is when you hire somebody and they come in, they look on the wall and they see your vision map, right? They're going to ask how to achieve different positions. That's conversation that you would never have if you did not show this 3-year vision map on the wall. So that's where I go back to, not only are you attracting, but now you're going to retain somebody through the tough times because they know that there's a benefit to staying in this company long-term to build their career because there's opportunity for growth in your business. So now we know why it's important. The what's in it for you part is once you build your vision tools and you build your 3-year vision map, and you follow it, you start to have a self-operating business, allowing you to do the things that you want to do. People are following chain of command. They're asking the right people the right questions. You're hiring the right leaders to fill the right roles. You're empowering them to run the departments, and it's taking your business to the next level. So I don't know about you, but I'm bought in. I'm ready to build a 3-year vision map. So let's start at the beginning. You have your blank piece of paper out. You have your pen. You're ready to go. Put a date on there. Next 3 years. Just put a date of what that year is going to be. And think about your trades business. The first thing I want you to write down is what is going to be your revenue in that year. 3 years out, whatever year that is, write down what's your estimated goal revenue that you want to accomplish that year. We're going to work our way backwards a little bit. Then I want you to take some time to work your way backwards. And when it comes to your revenue producers, how many revenue producers will it take to accomplish that goal? So if we're talking about technicians, going back to that example, how much do they revenue per truck per year if they're out there serving, right? Think about that. Write that number down because that's going to be important as you move forward in building your vision map. The next thing I want you to think about is that we know what our revenue looks like, how many people it's going to take, a revenue producing people it's going to take to accomplish that revenue. I want you to think about the departments in your business. How many different managers is it going to take to accomplish that? A typical trades business may have a service manager who's managing all the technicians, may have an office manager who's managing the office, and then usually has some kind of administration person in place, right? And then if you're growing, depending on what size you want to be, you're probably going to have a sales and marketing department as well. Usually the 4 different areas of an organizational chart when it comes to your managers is going to be your service, your office, your administration, and your sales and marketing. So go ahead and jot that down. If you need to pause this episode, you can pause to do some brainstorming on that. All right. So now we know how much we want to revenue. We know how many revenue producers it's going to take. We know how many managers it's going to take to produce that revenue. Let's just start at the top. I'm going to teach you a simple way to build this. And knowing that one thing that we want to make sure we do and realize is that people can only lead about 5 to 8 people effectively. So below each position, whoever's the people reporting to that position, it should be no more than 5 to 8 people. Now you can manage more, but you can't really do it effectively. And in future episodes, we're going to talk about what that looks like with position agreements and scorecards. But right now, let's stay focused on building this 3-year vision map for your trades business. So we're going to draw boxes. The very top of your page, I want you to draw, and I want you to draw just a single box at the very top. And I just want you to simply put owner. That's the owner box. From there, draw a line straight down and draw another box. And I would put general manager. Let's keep it simple. And now remember, as we draw this, where the lines point to are important because that's who they're reporting to. Let's draw another little small line going down from the general manager. And then from there, we're going to draw in our 4 boxes. We had going left to right horizontally, service manager, office manager, administrator, and then we had our sales and marketing person. So we had 4 boxes there. We're going to draw them horizontally. They are all going to report up to the general manager. So you can draw the lines going directly up to that general manager. From there, below each department, we're going to start with the service manager department. So depending on how many technicians that are going to be in place to earn this revenue, I want you to go ahead and draw those boxes in. Let's just say, for this example, we want to have 9 technicians. So I would draw 3 boxes side by side. So 3 boxes vertically, and then 3 boxes next to that, and 3 boxes next to that, all reporting up to your service manager. Other thing to think about here is if you're going to have any apprentices, you can draw that in. And the other thing is if you're going to have a warehouse manager to manage your warehouse, I would draw that in there as well, all reporting to your service manager. Once again, you can make this as elaborate as you want, but today I'm keeping it simple just for this podcast. Under your office manager, you're going to have your customer service reps. Typically, a company that has 9 technicians is going to have roughly 3 customer service reps. You're going to have 1 to 2 dispatchers, and then you are going to point them directly up to your office manager. You can add more to that if you want, but I'm keeping it basic. Under your administrator, you're going to have your HR, your accounts receivable, your accounts payable. You're going to have your bookkeeper under there. They're all going to be pointing up to your administrator role. Keeping it simple. Under the sales and marketing, you're going to have your marketing manager, you'll have your sales manager, and you may have an assistant below each one of those. As simply put, at the top of that page, you can put the date for 3 years out, put vision map. You can go in there, you can make some tweaks, but just as simple as that, you have started to build your 3-year vision map for your business. So what do we do next? Once we build this out, if you have a leadership team, or maybe you have a partner or spouse that you're in the business with, best thing is to take this to them and get their input. Make some tweaks to it. Don't overthink it, because the reality is this is never going to be perfect. It's a vision, right? But we want to get to a point where we can create a sign of this, put it on our wall, and start to talk to our team about where we're going in our business. Because having a vision map will attract and retain top talented team members. It'll help you with the biggest pain point in your business, which is communication. It's going to do that through chain of command. And then it's going to help you grow your business with intention, because you are now hiring, promoting based on the position, right? Not the person. Don't do what I talked about early in the podcast with Bob, your service manager, and make a position for him because you like him. Right? That's one of the biggest things we do in the trades. So I'm going to pause here for a minute. I know I went through that really quick. If you need to go back and rewind, pause it, help to build it. And if I would love to to answer any questions that you have when it comes to building your 3-year vision map for your business. You can reach out to me at dan@builtforthetrades.com. I would love to, if you to email me what you have, I can give you some input. We can make some tweaks to it. But the main thing is that you take this to completion, realizing it's not going to be perfect. The power of it is not in your folder in your office or in your computer. It's going to be printing it out, putting it on the wall, and owning what it looks like to grow towards your revenue goal for the next 3 years in your trades business. If you like what you hear, just once again, subscribe, share this with a friend, leave us a review. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next time.